This presentation details the referral, evaluation, and eligibility of gifted students in Gordon County. The process begins with referral. There are 3 types of referrals. The first is a reported referral, in which anyone who has knowledge of the student's abilities may refer by filling out a talent survey or nomination form. This includes teachers, counselors, administrators, parents, peers, or even the student themselves. The next type is an automatic referral, in which the gifted teacher at each school will conduct a child find where they screen test scores on the CRCT or other standardized achievement tests, looking for students who have scored greater than or equal to the 90th percentile. For kindergarten, the Ames Web assessment is a system-wide talent search is also conducted, in which each teacher fills out a talent survey on students that they have observed that demonstrate the behaviors and characteristics associated with gifted students. This is what the talent survey looks like for Gordon County schools, and there are characteristics listed to alert teachers to characteristics related to mental ability, achievement, creativity, and motivation. After the talent surveys are completed and returned to the gifted lead teacher at each school, in-school review team meetings are set up. Committee members meet to review each referral, and the members of the in-school review team meeting are the gifted teacher, an administrator, and each teacher as they refer students. The following items are documented: the date, the committee members that are present, the names of the students being considered, the source of the nomination, and the committee decision. For each student, the in-school review team decides whether or not to proceed with testing based on the results of the meeting. Parents are notified if the decision is made to proceed with gifted testing. New for 2010 and 2011 was a streamlined process for gifted testing. The teachers really seem to like this process because it improves efficiency and is less time consuming. From August to December, students in grades 3 through 5 are considered for gifted placement, and from January to May, children in grades kindergarten through 2nd are considered. Gordon County Schools follows the gifted program assessment and eligibility criteria set forth by the state of Georgia's multiple criteria rule. There are 4 areas that students are able to qualify in, and they must meet the mental ability requirements and 1 of the achievement requirements, or they can meet 3 of the 4 requirements. For mental ability, they must score in the 96th percentile for grades 3 through 12 and greater than or equal to the 99th percentile in grades K through 2. For achievement, they must score in the above the 90th percentile on the total reading, total math, or total battery. For creativity, they must score greater than or equal to the 90th percentile on a standardized creativity test or a creativity rating scale. For motivation, their GPA must be greater than or equal to a 3.6 or on a 4.0 scale for grades 3 through 12, or in the 90th percentile or above on a motivational rating scale. These are the assessment instruments that are used for gifted testing in Gordon County. For mental ability, the Cognitive Abilities Test, known as the COGAT, is used to assess nonverbal, verbal, and quantitative abilities. For achievement, the CRCT is used in grades 1 through 8, and the ITBS, the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, is also used. To assess creativity, the Torrance Test of Creative Thinking is used, and the Group Inventory for Finding Creative Talent is also used. For motivation, the Hawthorne Gifted Evaluation Scale, the Renzulli Checklist, and students' GPA grade point averages are considered. After gifted testing has occurred, the eligibility team gets back together and meets to discuss and review test scores for each student. They make an eligibility decision based on the results of the testing. They complete the referral data and testing results form for all students, and they determine placement for students based on testing results. This is what the eligibility report looks like for Gordon County Schools. There is a place to record the test results for each assessment used. The referral data and testing results form must be filled out for eligibility purposes and for FTE funding purposes. Gifted teachers are required to record the number of students that were referred and eligible based on gender, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status. The method by which students were qualified is also noted, whether they were qualified through automatic, COGAT, and ITBS data, or if they were qualified through multiple criteria. The parents of referred students are notified based on the evaluation. The eligibility report is placed in the student's gifted file and their permanent record, and a parent conference is scheduled, and parents are given the opportunity to discuss the student's test scores, whether they are eligible for gifted services or not, and an orientation date is scheduled if placed in the gifted program. At the beginning of each school year, each gifted teacher sets up an orientation for the REACH program, where the expectations for the new school year are discussed, and parental permission is requested for gifted services. Parents of gifted students are given and notified of the student's schedule, including their gifted classes and goals each year, and at the end of the year, parents are notified of student status for the next school year. For transition between middle school and high school at the end of 5th and 8th grade, a transition meeting occurs where the parent meets with a gifted teacher for a review of the progress and the areas of strength for the next year's gifted program and services. The conference is student-led with input from the gifted teacher. In order to continue in the gifted program, students must maintain satisfactory status in their core academic classes and their gifted education classes. In the gifted education classes, they must complete tasks on time, participate actively in class, work independently when independent work is assigned, interact appropriately in group situations, and behave appropriately. If the above criteria are not met, a team of teachers and/or administrators will meet to formulate an improvement plan and consider the following options: a probationary period during which the student will not participate in REACH, or a probationary period which the student will participate in REACH. After the probationary period, the student's performance during the probationary period will be evaluated, and the following options will be considered: continuation of probation, termination of probation, or termination or withdrawal from the gifted program. A student may re-enter the program for gifted upon meeting the continuation criteria after 2 consecutive grading periods. This presentation was prepared after consulting the Gordon County Schools Gifted and Talented Program Guidelines and Procedures Manual, and also the Resource Manual for Gifted Education Services set forth by the Georgia Department of Education.